You told me the story of the war, when the ground shook and the sky burned. Of the ones that survived, who awoke to a different world, where the powerful prey on the weak. But that's not the way it has to be.
When I found you, your very human brain was miraculously intact.
It's the loneliest feeling not to know who you are.
In time, you'll remember.
I remember black skies, the lightning all around me.
Alita is new here.
It's a harsh world down here.
You gotta be willing to do what it takes.
Alita, run! My God. She's the last of her kind. She contains technology that have been lost for 300 years.
Let me show you something.
This body, I feel a connection to it. I can't explain. You know more about me than you're saying.
Alita, some things are better left forgotten.
And I'll find out for myself.
She's threatening the natural order of things. I need you to destroy her. Alita, they will come for you.
I'll have to face them head on. I'm gonna need you to stand way back.
Tonight is not a game. It is a hunt.
Across this new divide.
I'm with her.
Alita Battle Angel is a Hollywood movie in 2019, directed by Robert Rodriguez, screenplay by James Cameron and Laeta Kalogridis. It is actually based on the manga by Yukito Kishiro. Yukito Kishiro's comic or manga that he created in Japan, so it's based on that. There's also an OVA of the same, based on the same manga, which I covered in the channel a few days ago, very recently, actually yesterday, I believe. So that's also on the channel. I'll put a link to that review that I did of the OVA. It's a Japanese animation. So that's also worth looking at as well. So I have covered that, and that review, I'll put a link to that review into this video. So this is a Hollywood adaptation of this Japanese manga, and it's starring Rosa Salazar as Alita, Christopher Waltz as Dr. Ido, Alita's father, Jennifer Connelly as Sherin, who is the love interest or the partner of Dr. Ido, Marshalla Ali Spector, Ed Skrein, Jackie Early Haley, and Kian Johnson, as well as Edward Norton as Nova, who is actually a character who doesn't appear in the OVA, in the OVA version, the anime or the Japanese animation version. There is no Nova in that one, so I'm not sure who Nova is. If the Nova character appears in the manga or not, I'm not sure, but it appears like it's some character they created just for the movie. The movie, has been created really well. A lot of good points about it. In terms of rating, out of 5, I have given for the ideas. I've given a rating of 4, mainly because the ideas are mainly based on the manga, the Japanese manga. They have actually put in a lot of their own ideas as well into it, which I will get to the next point. So in terms of the story, so for the ideas I gave 4 out of 5, just because there's a lot of good ideas. The hanging city in the sky, Salem, just the cyberpunk theme, a lot of different ideas, the crime, the stealing of the body parts, like the murder situations, the hunters who go after the criminals, the bounty hunters. Those kind of stories, those kind of concepts are quite good. So for those ideas, I have given 4. So it is actually based on the manga. The manga is the starting point for this movie, as well as the OVA. Story, I have given 2 out of 5. I actually wanted to deduct points because what they have done is they have made a lot of differences, a lot of changes to the original story presented in the manga, as I can see, and I will go through some of the changes they have done. So there's a lot of changes. For example, there's a character called Nova in Salem, in the city above the sky, and in the manga, I don't believe this Nova character appears. I believe they made this character just for this movie, so they can create other parts, down the track. I think that's why they created this Nova character, who is in the Salem, who is in the floating sky. And just to give a bit of a background, there's like this, this floating city, and only the privileged are allowed to live there. People who are living in Scrap Iron City, on the ground, people like Dr. Ido, Alita, and others, they can only live on the ground. They're not allowed to go to Salem. So that's just a bit of a background. Obviously the Salem, the floating city, is there in both the Hollywood adaptation as well as in the OVA, the animation, the one that I reviewed. So I'll be I'll be actually comparing both of those quite a lot, because I don't have access to the manga, so I'm going by the OVA. I'm comparing it directly to the OVA because I don't really have access to the mangas, so that's what I'm going to be comparing it against right throughout. There's so that's one difference. In Salem you have a character called Nova in the Hollywood adaptation, but there's no mention of a Nova in the OVA, which is so OVA means original video animation, so it's direct to VHS or direct to video. So the animation that they made in Japan based on the manga is a OVA. It's direct to video. So it doesn't go to cinemas or anything like that. So that's the one I'm referring to when I say OVA, and I'll put a link to that in this video as well. So in the OVA, there's as I said, there is no mention or anything about this character called Nova. So I believe it's character they created. So that's one difference. There's also on Gravishka, there's a track there, when Sharin goes to upgrade Gravishka, they discover a tracking chip on him, which allows Nova to track him from Zalem. But there's no such thing in the cartoon, in the animation, I should say. Ido's daughter getting killed by his patient, that's not there in the OVA. The bar scene where Zapan, who is one of the hunters, he's introducing the other bounty hunters to Alita. Alita is talking to Zapan and asking for their help. The bar fight scene and the Ido coming there and breaking up the fight. Zapan getting beaten up by Alita in the bar, and Zapan's the sword that he has. So all those things are not in the OVA. Zapan, the character in the OVA, does have a sword, but it's not the type of sword that that the character in the Hollywood version has, because the sword in the Hollywood one is like a standard sword, whereas the one in the animation is like a double sword. It's like a two bladed sword. It's like a long sword, and in the middle you got the handle, so you can spin it around. So it's quite different. That's another difference. In the Hollywood adaptation, there's something called or URM, which is United Republic of Mars. There's no such thing in the OVA or in the animation. And Alita is meant to be from she's meant to be technology. There's no mention of that in the animation. In the Hollywood adaptation, they have flashbacks where Alita is training with one of her colleagues, and also going up to Zalem on one of those tubes to destroy Salem and to get Nova. In the Hollywood adaptation, it's there, but that doesn't happen in the animation, the OVA animation. There's another scene where Alita and her friends, they go to this abandoned spaceship to recover this body, and Alita starts out with a weak body, and then her body gets upgraded later by Dr. Ido. That doesn't happen in the animation OVA. That's another difference. There is a mention of, in the OVA, there is a mention of like a fighting arena where gladiators go there and fight. But in the Hollywood adaptation, they talk about motorball, which is like a sport, which is like a similar thing. They have an arena where these gladiators fight out over a ball, and they got skates on, like on their feet, and they can there's this track where they show all these things, how the gladiators go around the track after this ball and hit each other. There's nothing like that in the animated OVA again, so that's another difference. Alita is also playing motorball with her friends. Before that doesn't happen in the OVA. Then Alita goes to watch the motorball in the arena with Hugo, and she goes to see the pits, to see the stars getting repaired and things like that during the match. Again, that doesn't happen in the OVA. Alita taking part in the motorball sport later on, with Ido putting skates on her. Again, that doesn't happen. And during that time, she has the number 99 on her shoulder pad, but in the cartoon, in the animation, OVA animation, it's Gravishka who has 99 on his shoulder pad. It's not Alita. So again, that's another difference. Then there's Ido warns Alita that she's in a trap, and to get out of the trap, and that they're gonna kill her during the motorball tryout. So that doesn't again happen in the OVA. Hugo contacting her in the arena, telling her that he's in trouble, and that the hunter Zapan is after him. That doesn't happen in the OVA. Then Alita fights with the gladiators in the arena. That again that doesn't happen. There's a chase across the city with the gladiators from the arena. Again, that doesn't happen. Then there's a final fight scene with them at the end where Alita defeats them. Again, that doesn't happen in the OVA as well. But what does happen is Alita fights with Japan and defeats Japan, so that happens, and Japan also, attacks Yugo. So that happens in both the OVA and the Hollywood adaptation. So that's there. Another thing that's not there is there's his Centurion tanks in the Hollywood adaptation. That there's no such thing in the OVA. And Alita fights with these tanks so she can see Vector. Again, that doesn't happen in the OVA. Alita kills Vector and Gravishka in Vector's office. That doesn't happen in the OVA. That scene actually happens with Ido and Vector and a different gladiator. It's not Gravishka, because at this point in the OVA, Gravishka is already dead. So it's a different gladiator from the arena that Ido kills in the office in the OVA. And also there's a scene at the end in the motorball arena. Alita lifts her sword, which she has taken from Japan, and she points it towards Zalem, and Nova is looking at her, from Zalem. So again, that scene doesn't happen in the OVA. So those are the differences. So because of that, I have docked quite a few points from the story, because they have really changed it a lot, based if you look at the story from the OVA, which I'm guessing is more closely tied to the mangas than the Hollywood adaptation. They have made a lot of changes in the Hollywood adaptation. There's a lot of changes, so even the appearance of everyone is quite different. For example, Japan looks completely different, but they could have easily made Japan look like the character in the OVA if they wanted to. Gravishka looks similar. Vector looks similar. Nova actually looks similar to Dr. Ido in the animation, but even the Dr. Ido's character in the Hollywood adaptation is quite okay. It's similar. Alita looks quite similar as well. Sherin looks completely different. So those are some of the other differences. So going back to the scores, as I said, for ideas I gave 4. For story I gave 2 only, because out of 5, because of just the amount of changes they have done. They have done a lot of changes, which I didn't feel were that necessary, but it might be because they want to do a sequel later on. Other sequels later on might be the motivating reason for doing all those changes. For direction I have given a 4. Cinematography I have given a 4. Special effects I have given a 4. Sound I have given a 4. Music I have given a 3. And acting I have given a 4. So it's a highly rated movie, and a total score of 3.63. It lost a few points in the story because of, as I said, because of the changes they have done. Quite a lot of changes they have done. They have not stuck to the original story of the OVA, which I'm guessing is more closely tied to the manga than the Hollywood adaptation is. So that is the score that I'm giving, 3.63. Final score out of 5, which is still a high score. And special effects are really, really good in this movie. I have to mention that special effects are quite good. And overall, all the scenes, they have recreated the junk, I think it's called Scrap Iron City. They have created it quite well, using special effects. So it's quite well done. A lot of other scenes, quite well done as well in terms of special effects. So yeah, overall it's quite a good movie, and it's worth watching. Um, what I will do is I will do some visual comparisons at the end, so you can see visually what the differences are between the characters from this Hollywood adaptation, as well as the OVA, the animation OVA, so you can see a visual comparison of some of the characters that are there, and you can see that.